please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log, Subdates 230303.7. I've decided to push on to the location of the Gloriana-class vessel. I've brought my shrink ray and shall secure it, the vessel that is, place it in my pocket in fact, before we use our escape rope for instant evac success. Welcome everyone to the exhibition of stupid people. Today we're going to start with something I saw via the news app on my phone, as you can see here. From Eurogamer, Blood Bowl 3 is getting battered by Steam players. Now I am, as many people will know, based on my name and other references, sometimes costumes too, an avid collector, painter, reader of anything Games Workshop related. There are a few lines I refuse to cross, but for the most part, I am a bit of an encyclopedia. With the games, I've played most of them. I say most. I haven't been able to keep on top of all the more recent releases, mostly because my job here, hello, takes up a lot of my time. And with newer books coming out all the time, I am also falling behind, something which I seek to rectify this year. Blood Bowl, the video game, is absolutely fantastic, as you can see from the number of hours here that I've played of Blood Bowl 1 and 2. These games are universally liked. The very idea of American football-style games, yes, it's very entertaining. Blood Bowl 3, though, has taken, I think, 8 years to finally be produced. 8 years is a long time for anyone to wait. There are a number of franchises that have waited a very long time to release a follow-up. Some of them did not hit the mark because people expected too much. Others failed to hit the mark because, well, of the same problems actually Blood Bowl 3 have. It, along with the fact that I haven't played the first two, is another reason why I won't get it yet. As you can see here from a screenshot, mostly negative reviews of just over 1,000, and I did pick out my favourite one, which happened to be the very first one. Goes through the pros and cons that adequately conveys a running problem with many game companies that rush out a game that is not ready. Fallout was a great example of a company that rushed to get something across the line, to then have to release a file update bigger than the original file itself. So Bethesda, you suck as well. So the pros of this game: Blood Bowl 2020 rules, better graphics and or fidelity with Games Workshop models. This is fantastic, of course. The cons: well, this is quite long, and there's a TLDR at the bottom, but we're going to go through the list of cons. Ready? Server latency and general disconnects. The menus often hang as the game tries to connect to the server, i.e. trying to inspect teams will disconnect you. Countless bugs with skills, i.e. Pro, Shadowing, Juggernaut, Dump Off. These are important in the game, by the way. Countless bugs with general interactions. Pass interference, touchdowns not registering. Random crashes and instability freezing. Games can end without registering the results. That sounds like FIFA, meaning you wasted an hour of your life. Single player, piss poor AI. Even worse than Blood Bowl 2. Single player, no limit on positional players for Black Orc AI teams, i.e. they may have 9 Black Orcs. You don't want 9 Black Orcs, by the way. Single player, campaign locked after first competition. Hilariously overpriced and absurd microtransaction system. Pure unfettered greed. The DLC packs are laughable, again hilariously overpriced scam DLC. No basic customization options, no visible mutations on players. 90% of the voiced commentary is recycled from Blood Bowl 2. Music is recycled from Blood Bowl 2. Missing critical functionality. These are bare minimum functional requirements for a Blood Bowl game, which can take anywhere from 40 to 50 minutes to play. Absolutely
inexcusable. I should have used this voice for the other caps.
Microtransaction shop is available even though the mechanics for earning Warpstone, currency in game, will not be revealed for another 3 months, meaning you can only buy Warpstone now with real dollar. Make no mistake, it was a calculated move to release the cash shop before the Blood Pass. On the right side there are other reviews. The one at the bottom is the most appropriate here. The game is far from being done, crashes, and is glitchy even in campaign mode. It's not worth the money now, but I think it will be good in 6 months to a year depending on how much time is spent improving it. If a game is not ready, why did you release it? If a game is not finished, why put it out there And did you even bother to do beta testing? Beta testing? Because it sounds to me like you didn't. Maybe I should play Blood Bowl though. I should stream it on Twitch, that'd be a laugh. Would anyone actually turn up to watch though? No one did for Assassin's Creed. So next we have a rather amusing... I don't know how to put this. His name is Saharat. I'm not even going to pretend to be able to pronounce his last name. He is a pharmaceutical operative, but not one that is legal. Yes. He recently had adopted a new name, Jimin. You might remember that name from yesterday. Yeah, I referenced it with Ollie London. He was in Bangkok, hiding out. He wasn't a very law-abiding pharmaceutical operative, and because of his not legal pharmaceutical operations, he has gotten into a bit of trouble. Now, for 3 months, the police have been looking for him because of these not-so-legal undertakings. He was described as a handsome Korean man to the police, going so far as to change his name to a Korean name, hence why I mentioned Jimin. Saharat is actually from Thailand, and had admitted after being caught by the Popo, he just wanted to start a new life because he was bored of Thailand. So what had he done? Well, he on several occasions went under the knife, the knif, to look Korean so that he wouldn't look Thai, so that he could then pass off and fit in, live a different life, because, you know, his illegal import of not so legally obtained pharmaceutical stoof got him into a bit of trouble. The best example of one of these not legal would be MDMA, also known as ecstasy. He used to fund this cryptocurrencies, and the transactions themselves took place over the dark web. On 3 previous occasions, he had been arrested. One time, assault. At the time, they had found 290 MDMA pills and 2 kilos of something in liquid form in his possession. To avoid prison, he managed to escape and then undertook the surgical procedures to dodge the investigators. He is regarded as one of the main causes of Bangkok's MDMA epidemic. Also considered a pharmaceutical lord, importing MDMA from Europe at just 25 years old. They do also believe there are more suspects in foreign countries and they're going to continue the investigation. In a video, Saharat had actually said that he mostly imported from the Netherlands, adding that he didn't know the identity of the people he dealt with because it was all done over the dark web. My view on this is quite amusing and simple, really. Had you considered, instead of changing from one East Asian race to another, why don't you just do what Ollie London did but go the other way? You could have made yourself into a nice, maybe, white guy. You would have guaranteed a lack of detection if you called yourself Trevor, Bob, Dick, Willie. We could take this a step further and go with unnecessary surgeries on other areas of your body, but I don't want to be accused of being phobic in some manner. I'm just going to mock you because you got busted with over 290 pills and 2 kilos of a liquid, which has not been identified. You went under the knife several times to try to not get busted. And what happened? You got busted a bit! Congratulations. I do hope your time in the ISO cubes is long, eventful, enjoyable, and I hope your crypto wallet is hidden safely somewhere so you can at least have some money when you leave prison in however many years you are going to now spend in a Thailand prison. Although I do have to ask, why did you stay in Thailand if you were trying to avoid the police so much? Honourable mention time goes to Madonna, because Madonna has decided to clap back at the accusations that she has undergone the knife because in her mid-60s, she's trying to defy time itself. Many people do it. You'd have been better off with an invisibility cloak though to avoid death entirely, until you were ready to finally accept you're getting older, bitch. Because she's clapped back, I thought perhaps the honourable mention would be to read the tweet, show the image, and maybe a couple replies. Madonna had tweeted, "Look how cute I am now that swelling from surgery has gone down, lol, crying with laughter emoji." Image, nice spiritually hungry cap. I think that's more vapid cunt, actually. I think you'll find that's more accurate, or a similar descriptor. As you can see, the swelling has gone down from the recent awards ceremony she was at, where her face looked quite, well, this. She cannot honestly tell anyone she did not go under the knife. Not that it matters really. We all know the real reason she's doing it, to look her best for her tour, but also she's got a young family and she wants to appear hip and down with them, yo. Replies. Misty Nan, you are a lot of things lady, but cute is not one of them. Sarah Gonzalez, no. And there's an answer for your spiritual hunger. His name is Jesus. I think you'll find Oreos do a much better job. Since we've already referenced crime within this video in the form of a Thai narcotics operative, let's finish with two separate incidents of people doing something they shouldn't have. The first is the actor Ray Buffer, who has been charged with one misdemeanor count of petty theft after attending a comic book store in San Diego and deciding, swag fam YOLO, yes, I mixed it up, I'm taking $854 worth of comic books. Now, with the cost of inflation and it being in California, that could be just one comic, but they did say plural, so books. It might be two. You never know. It is alleged though he also decided to hit a number of shops before he was eventually caught. Apparently, Ray Buffer is struggling at the moment for work, so has taken to stuffing comic books under his clothes as a form of entertainment. On the face of it, this doesn't make too much in the way of sense, so something has to be clearly wrong, because if you look at his IMDb, he's been a busy bee. There's no way he is short of work. Then again, money doesn't go as far in some states, countries, as it does in other places. I'm more inclined to believe perhaps something isn't quite right, but this does now lead to somebody else. A university financial official, aged 64, called David Hall, who worked for 30 years at Brighton University. Over those 3 decades, he used his trusted position as head of income and payments to, move some of that money into an account that he had access to. It is more commonly known as embezzling. The total amount over 30 years that no one noticed was £2.4 million. In 2021, he was finally busted because the university suspected fraud, because it had been going on for too long and money was missing. But 30 years is a lengthy time. The fact it wasn't noticed sooner speaks volumes about how stupid you really are, as a university anyway. He was found guilty for his crimes. But the part that makes this quite interesting is, it wasn't over 30 years he was doing the crime. No, it was 7 years. 2.4 over 7 years. That is quite a lot to shift every year and not to be noticed for a while. The sentence for this, by the way, you've got conspiracy to defraud, potentially 10 years. False accounting, this is definitely that, 7 years. At 64, you're going away for a while, yes, bitch. I hope it was worth it. Have you considered perhaps not being such a greedy prick